Today, as I'm recording this, the Boston and Chicago Marathon are just 2 weeks away. And I'm super excited to be leading a group of close to 10 athletes heading off to these races. After months of diligent training, I know everybody is tired. You may even be dealing with minor aches and pains you're worried about potentially being an issue during your race. You've done all your hardest long runs, you've done week after week after week of tough workout, and you're ready to take a break. Well, now's the time. The whole point of training is to get to a point where you're right on the edge of what you can do. You're tired, you've crammed it all in, you've gotten in your runs, you've gotten in your workouts, you've been barely keeping up. But then before you race, you got to relieve all that pressure and rest up so that you can actually run the best race of your life. So, with 2 weeks to go before Boston and Chicago, and 2 weeks before whatever marathon you might be doing, this is really when the taper comes into effect. I typically give people a 10-day taper period. So, I'll start off this 2 week out period. We'll just do one workout, usually on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. And then that leaves you about 10 days until your marathon on the following Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. And after that last workout, that's when you really start to rest. That's when you relieve all the pressure you've been building up and cut the amount of running you're doing really in half. So, not everyone necessarily knows how to approach the taper, but the basics of it are you want to keep running with the same frequency and effort level that you've been doing throughout training. So, you don't skip runs, you don't run any slower, but what you do is reduce the length of your runs by about 50% in this final 10 days. And when you do that, your body will start to freshen up over the final week and a half of your taper. You'll stay loose because you're still running your normal speed, you're still running the same frequency that you were before, but by reducing your mileage and also the amount of hard running you're doing by about 50%, you have that opportunity to relax, heal up any nagging injuries you may have been dealing with, freshen up so that you can do your best on race day. Simultaneously, to just the physical reduction of work that you're doing, you're also going to start to fill your energy stores up. So in the marathon, when we run long distances, we're primarily burning glycogen stores in our bodies. And the whole premise of marathon training works on the idea that you're constantly fatigued going from one run to the next to the next. This is why in marathon training, you may only do 10 miles at marathon pace and find that to be quite a struggle. But if you know from experience, come marathon race day, 26 is doable. That's because after the taper, you're going to be rested and fully stocked up on energy. So as you reduce your mileage by about 50% during the taper period, you're going to be reducing your energy needs during that time. But a funny thing is, your appetite is actually going to kind of lag behind. So during the taper, you'll probably keep eating the same amount of food as you did when you were running twice as much. And that's effectively going to load up your energy stores, what we talk about when we say carb loading. You don't need to eat any differently, really, during the taper. You'll probably be just as hungry as you've always been. But because you're running less, you'll store up extra energy in your body so that when you come to your marathon race day, you're ready to go. So, three things come together that let you run the best race of your life on race day. And that's the reduction of mileage. You've allowed yourself to rest, but only for about 10 days to 2 weeks, not long enough to lose any fitness. So remember, you came into this taper period in the what you thought was the best shape of your life. But then when you rest for 10 days to 2 weeks, you actually super compensate and you become even fitter. You've been maintaining your regularity of running with frequency, doing some light workouts, doing strides that keeps you fresh. So you won't have lost any fitness as long as your taper is kept to this time frame. And your energy stores are totally topped up because of the reduction of mileage and the healthy eating you've been doing during the taper. And then the last thing is just the race day excitement. Most people will do much better when running with others who are also working towards a similar goal and with just the excitement and energy of the race day. So those three things will come together at the end of your taper and let you run the best race of your life. That's the basics of it. Hope that helped. My name is Coach Chris Knighton. If you have any more questions about what to think about during the taper period, shoot me a message. I'd love to hear what's on your mind and help you out. You can reach me on Instagram at KnightonRuns or email me at knightonruns@gmail.com. That's all for now. Talk to you soon, and I hope you have a good day.